Welcome to a fresh edition of Smell the Coffee, where we break down and slice up all the amazing stories that have been trending in the world of pop culture or in some other corners of the world. My name is January2024 alongside Glenora Shipura, and we are your hostess for this morning, and we are excited to kickstart your morning with good energy. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling very good. It's good to have you back on the show.
I'm glad to be back.
How was your holiday?
My holiday was really cute. I spent most of my holiday with my family members. I was in the village most of the time. I had the pleasure of visiting, the night scene in the north. Very nice, actually, I must say. Shout out. The clubs in the north
are giving.
They are giving what Windhoek is not giving.
Really?
Love that. Yeah, that was my holiday. Nothing amazing. I didn't go to Kenya because my budget wouldn't allow me.
So you were supposed to go to Mombasa, what?
Bruh,
Nice
me and my friends have had like 7 failed trips between 2020 and 2023. We just never got on the plane and left. So we said, you know what, let's not create a WhatsApp group this time. Let's just
do it.
Let's just do it. I don't know, this year, maybe we will do it this year, but I hope we can do it this year.
Honestly, speaking of, of the north, I was just thinking, like, in my, young 18 years of existence, I've never been to the north.
Yeah, not 18 years.
Yeah, 18. No, not even yet 20. Not even
yet
20. So I need to go to the north. We need to make a trip, you and I, but we should.
You've never been to the north?
I've never been to the north.
Oh,
honestly,
no.
It's so embarrassing, guys.
You need to go to the north.
It's so embarrassing. Like, I was waiting for maybe a friend to get married or something, but no.
Put yourself to, one of these Gondwana places in the north.
Yeah. Plug me. Tell me where to go. Tell me where to
Luxury
go.
in the north. You can
Tell me
go
where
to
to go.
King Nehale. Okay, that's like almost in Etosha, but Etosha is also in the north.
Yeah,
somewhat.
it's fine. I'm willing to have that experience.
Field.
Are we going to do what is this called? Yeah, the pounding of the mahango.
Yes, we can cultivate. Yeah,
Now, starting off our top stories, TB Joshua, a charismatic Nigerian leader of one of the world's biggest evangelical churches, secretly committed sexual crimes on a mass scale, a BBC investigation spanning 3 continents has found. Testimony from dozens of survivors suggests Joshua was abusing and raping young women from around the world several times a week for nearly 20 years. In early 2002, in the depths of a grey English winter, 21-year-old Rai disappeared. The last time many of her friends saw her was at university in Brighton. She had been studying graphic design, living in a shared house 25 minutes from the sea. Rai was bright and popular. For me, it was like she died, but I couldn't grieve her, says Carla, Rai's best friend at the time. Now, Carla knew where Rai had gone, but the truth of it was hard to explain to their friends. A few weeks previously, she and Rai had traveled to Nigeria together in search of a mysterious man who could seemingly heal people with his hands. He was a Christian pastor with a black beard in white robes. His name was TB Joshua. His followers called him the prophet. Now, Rai and Carla planned to visit his church of all nations for just 1 week, but Rai never came home. She had moved into Joshua's compound. Wow. I left her there, says Carla, tears flowing freely. Never will I ever forgive myself for that. Now, the church looms like a Gothic temple over the Ikutu neighborhood in Lagos, Africa's largest city. Joshua designed all 12 stories of the compound adjoining it, where he lived alongside many of his followers. He oversaw the construction of the multiple staircases to his bedroom, the 3 doors to two in it and out, the hidden prayer room full of tiny mirrors, the clinic downstairs. We have interviewed many people who lived inside. They paint a picture of a concrete labyrinth, a nightmarish world where reality slipped away and horrors unfolded. Numerous women say they were sexually assaulted by Joshua, with a number claiming they were repeatedly raped behind closed doors. Some say they were forced to have abortions after becoming pregnant. Now, the 2-year investigation, in collaboration with international media platform Open Democracy, has involved more than 15 BBC journalists across 3 continents. They gathered archived video recordings, documents, and hundreds of hours of interviews to corroborate Rai's testimony and uncover further harrowing stories. More than 25 eyewitnesses and alleged victims from the UK, Nigeria, Ghana, US, South Africa, and Germany have provided accounts of what it was like inside Joshua's compound, with the most recent experiences in 2019.
Whoa. Those are a lot of people that are speaking up. Clearly, it's true. What
Too
makes
many
me
people
sad
from different parts of the world can't be singing the same song.
What makes me sad is the fact that this man is in his
To face the consequences.
to face the consequences of his actions. That's all I can say on this man. Yeah.
But when you question the believers, it was like, yeah.
That's why for me, I don't believe in the whole thing of laying hands. I just feel like there's a of energy.
Gone to one of these churches at some point. My mom was like, yeah, you have to go, whatever, you know what I mean? And then you go along. And you see how they're even praying over you.
Actual prophets, it's now up to us as a people to pray and discern
Which
who
one
is true and who is false. If you can't discern, then you will definitely be misled. That's all I can say. Now, moving over to our next story, Miss Namibia Cassia Sharpley, who's 23, says she has started her presidential campaign now, although she will only be eligible to run as an independent candidate once she turns 35. She says she is not gunning for election during this year's poll, but her campaign is a long-term project. Sharpley will be able to stand as a presidential candidate in the next presidential election in 2036, as she will be 36 by then. This comes after commentators criticize her social media announcement that she would be running for presidency as the independent candidate, saying she is using this as a clickbait to get more hits for her podcast. Article 28 of the Namibian Constitution says any Namibian by birth or descent who has reached the age of 35 is eligible to run for the position of a president. That is Cassia. What is your take on this?
I don't know. I don't know if it's clickbait. Do you think she's backing it up with like actual political involvement, or is it just an outrageous announcement? You know, yeah, guys, I'm running for election in 10 years' time, but I've not necessarily put out any content or been active in the political scene. That's what I'm wondering. Is it that case? I don't really follow her, so I don't want to judge her.
I don't think it matters to put out, what did you say? Political...
Yeah, is she in the... Yes, exactly.
I don't think being in the political sphere matters. What she is saying is that I am running, not running in the long term. She basically just announced her plans and her goals. It's like me telling you that, oh, in 2023, I want to get a job. It's not certain whether I've been applying or have not been applying. What I'm saying is this is what I plan on doing. This is what I hope my life would be. That is what she's saying. It's a long-term goal. And with time, she will start working towards it.
If you're saying that, then that makes sense. But wow, that's an ambitious plan, and kudos to her, you just being a beauty queen doesn't mean you're only one thing. You can be so many things, and I like that for her. Like, wow. Yeah, we need to run as well in 10 years' time.
I'm not into politics like that.
Me too, me too. Well, wrapping up our top stories, Cat Williams has been, he broke the internet, I think. That's what happened. He decided 2024, we're going to start it off with a bang. He became public enemy number one. US comedian Cat Williams must have known he would be stepping on next during his 3-hour interview with Shannon Sharpe on his Club Shay Shay podcast. Not one for holding back, Williams rubbed people up the wrong way in the entertainment industry, especially his fellow comedians. However, this time there might be no turning back as he aimed and fired at the likes of Cedric the Entertainer, Kevin Hart, and Steve Harvey. Probably one of the most outrageous of his claim was that Harvey Weinstein offered to suck in front of all my people at the agency. That's what he said. Now, the stand-up comic rehashed an old beef by accusing Cedric the Entertainer of stealing his jokes and said he wasn't a real entertainer. We found out he can't sing, can't dance, and doesn't write jokes, he told. Now, he did 4 comedy specials. They are so bad, Shannon. They are not available on Netflix or Tubi. In response to Williams' accusation, Cedric took to social media to set the record straight. Regardless of whatever Cat's opinion is on my career can't be reduced to one joke, Cat Williams claims as his. Cedric wrote, I've been in over 40 movies. My specials and brand speaks volumes for me. Now, when it came to Hart, Williams didn't hold back either. They tell you there's no gatekeepers, but we keep seeing the same person open the gate, added the Emmy Award-winning star. Didn't Kevin let Tiffany Haddish in? What do you mean there ain't no gatekeepers? There's 100 gates out there. On the topic of Harvey, Williams blankly said, you couldn't be a movie star. There are 30,000 new scripts in Hollywood every year, and he couldn't get in one. Moving on, not one of them asked for a country bumpkin black dude that can't talk good and look like Mr. Potato Head.
Oh, wow. That's the dragation for me. Cat Williams done dragged these brothers in the mud. You know what? As creatives, people should be able to criticize. People should be able to say what they feel about your work. If you are a public figure, I'm sorry, you are free game. You are in the public eye by choice, which is what you chose, right? So people are going to criticize you. People are going to love you. It comes with a package, so just get...
People have been saying stuff about him. But to be fair, the interview wasn't just like him throwing shade. He was also exposing industry secrets. He's saying some of these people got packages, they signed contracts. That their rise to fame wasn't necessarily legitimate or through hard work and whatnot. It was because they were doing some stuff.
Yes. And break. We will bring you an interview with a chef, so stay tuned.
Cooking every day since I was 10, and my first job ever, I was a cleaner for a restaurant that used to be called Primi Piatti. In Windhoek. And I chose to be a cleaner because I was like, I don't want to be in the chefs, the whole combination at the time. And they sent me there and I worked under a head chef there, and he put me in as an assistant in the kitchen. And I just started learning from these guys and getting into it. Fast forward a few years after that, I'm now done with school. I graduated high school, I'm done there. So it was a big lesson for me, but right after that I said, oh, you know what, I need a lot of paperwork behind my name. So I moved to Cape Town, and I lived in Cape Town, and I studied. I did a 4-year course, and I finished everything. And when I was done there, I met up with a beautiful lady named Isabel. And Isabel said, hey, I have this great idea. Help me grow and build that. So we moved to Portugal. And in Portugal, that with the way it looks, the logo, the name, the menu, I started creating all of these things with her and her late husband. We got back to the city, to Windhoek, and then we built the restaurant. because it used to be a law firm. So we built the restaurant. Boom, there it goes. Isabel's Table. Everybody loves it. Crazy Portuguese food. And then that was the, I would say, the halfway mark of my career was at that point.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was pretty a crazy wild ride, but that halfway point. And then fast forward off to Isabel's for a few years, about three years, I think. I did a few other small little projects, private chef stuff back in South Africa. And then I took on a very interesting project that a lot of people don't know, but a friend of mine named Nelson from Angola, he had this great idea to say, hey, I really want to open like a restaurant lounge like in Luanda, but in Windhoek. And I found this beautiful old restaurant called the Wine Bar. Help me so we can set this up to recreate that space in Angola. And I did that with him, and that's the Wine Bar today. Yeah, so that the Wine Bar became exactly what he wanted it to be. And from that, I was about to go back to South Africa and open a cafe there and just be the chef that's there in Cape Town, right? And then the lovely Irina called me from Berrylicious, and she said, look, I want to grow my cafe into a big restaurant. Let's get into that. And then that's how I'm now here at Berrylicious. So then I designed a Mediterranean menu, healthy, conscious food, great taste, and combination of all my training. So the Asian, the Portuguese, the French, I infused that into the 3 menus I've created for the Berrylicious restaurant. And that's my journey until now.
Wow, that's crazy. I mean, it's really, really inspiring, but it's also crazy. I think there was a time, maybe 2-3 years back, I was on a date. It wasn't the best date, but I remember you came out and you asked me what I wanted. Obviously you've done that for a lot of people. And then you created a dish for me. I don't even remember, but it was at Isabel's kitchen. So when you mentioned me, I was like, yes, it's him. And you made a dish for me, and it really made my day.
Yeah.
Even though it was not the best, with the date, whatever experience, but the food, made up for it. So, wow, interesting.
I'm happy to hear that. That's always our goal.
No, that should be the goal. And food is this, it's a social experience, but it's also a very fulfilling experience when it's done with like a lot of intention behind it. And I feel like that's what you're about.
Yes.
Getting into that, what's your creative process like? Does it come to you? Because I'm a writer as well, so sometimes things just come to me, like,
yes,
yeah, do this, and then sometimes, there's a map, I create something, and then, I try to follow. Now that was part 1 of that interview. Obviously, the other parts will be aired on the future Smell the Coffee episodes. How do you feel about today's episode?
Oh, you're so deep.
So deep. I mean, we're just into the year, and I feel like so many things are coming
out. Yeah.
Yes, guys, it's just day 8 of 2024.